Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have a very exciting video to make. I hope you guys are really excited about it. I'm very excited to talk about it, but we just finally finalized the 22 teams that are going to be going to the 2021 World Championships for League of Legends. It's the biggest event in esports. It's the most exciting event in esports, and I absolutely cannot wait. But now that we know those teams, this is assuming that the VCS is not going to Worlds, which is, I think, all but confirmed at this point. These are the 22 teams that we are going to have, and we're going to be going through every single team, ranking them from 22nd to 1st, giving my thoughts and opinions on them. This will be a longer video, so I won't go super in-depth into any of the teams. We're just going to kind of be knocking it out, going through the list. But I did this for MSI. The video popped off. I think it got over 10,000 views. It did very well. It seemed like you guys enjoyed it, so hopefully you guys will enjoy my Worlds iteration as well. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of things that you agree with, a ton of things you disagree with, and that's all right. That's totally fine. Definitely share your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, but just be respectful. It's just my opinions. I don't watch all of these leagues. I don't watch every single one of these teams super close, but this is just my overall analysis of the entire situation. With that being said, let's get right into this, because it's going to be a little bit longer of a video most likely. So I threw together a little PowerPoint slide. This took a long time to make, so I hope you guys do at least appreciate that, because you know, this was longer than my usual video that takes to throw together and stuff like that. But yeah, I dove into every single team, how they finished in the summer regular season, how they did in the summer playoffs, what their roster's looking like, and what I think of them headed into Worlds 2021. So here we go. You know, I'm sorry if your team's ranked low. I'm sorry if you don't agree, but again, let me know what you think. Just don't be a dickhead about it. With that being said, here we go. At number 22, I have the Osh team, Peace. Now, I know Osh actually finished ahead of some teams at MSI. Obviously, they made it out of their groups. They finished ahead of Unicorns of Love, but Pentanet is a team we expected to be here, but they didn't make it back. They actually lost to Peace. Peace went 10-11 in summer, so that it's not like they were a super good team in Osh. This is APII, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Babip, Tally, Violet, and Aladoric. They did, you know, it had a crazy run in the playoffs. A 3-0, then a 3-2, then a 3-0 of Direwolves, then a 3-0 of Pentanet in the finals. But still, am I going to be super confident about an Osh team that went 10-11 in the summer regular season? No. And I know, like, Babip, he's a guy we've seen at Worlds before. He's a guy that we've seen can be pretty good, but he was just on TSM Academy last split, and he didn't look that crazy good. I don't expect this team to do very well. Honestly, congrats to them for even making it to Worlds. I think they're even going to be happy to be here, because they probably shouldn't be. They're kind of at the bottom of my list. Next up, we have the Red CANDS. This is from CB LOL. They went 10-8 in summer. Again, kind of just a middle-of-the-pack team in CB LOL. This is Guigo, Aegis, Grefthar, Titan, and JoJo. They had another good playoff run. 3-0, 3-1, 3-1 in the finals. They kind of look good coming in, but historically, CB LOL is one of the weaker leagues. Again, this isn't like a team that dominated the CB LOL or anything like that. If you're from one of these weaker regions and you don't even dominate your regular season and playoffs, I'm not going to have a ton of confidence in you going into Worlds. I have them at 21st, but hey, you're ahead of Osh. Congrats. At number 20 here, I have the Unicorns of Love. This is a team that seems to make it to every single international event. They really seem to, you know, dominate the Russian CIS region, whatever you want to call it. But I'm a little bit down on them this year because they did not look good at MSI. Again, they did not get out of their groups that had Pentanet in it, so I'm a little bit disappointed in them. I'm a little bit low on them right now. But they went 12-2 in summer. They got Boss, Ananasic, No Man's, Argonavd, and Santas in the bot lane. But they actually didn't sweep through the playoffs. Even though they went 12-2 in summer, they were really dominant. They lost 1-3 in their first playoff match, and then came back with a 3-2 and a 3-2. Some close playoff series out there. Not getting me super confident in Unicorns of Love headed into Worlds. Again, especially after their disappointing MSI. At number 19, another team we saw at MSI, this was Gillette Infinity. They actually performed really well in the Latin American region. They had an 11-3 record in summer. This is Bugak, Solid Snake, Cody, White Lotus, and Ackerman, who is cut off a little bit. They just had one playoff series, a 3-2 against EST. So again, not a ton to go off of there, but this team did well overall. We saw them at MSI. They're not terrible. They're pretty solid. That bot lane can make some plays, and they have guys with experience. I think they could be a decent team. I think they could be a scary team, but I'm not too worried about them. Got them at 19. At number 18, we have a new team, Galatasaray, 15-3 in the summer over in the TCL. Crazy, Mojito, Bolulu, Alive, and Zergsting. They actually did pretty well in the playoffs. A 3-1 against BJK and a 3-0 against NSR in the finals. So, you know, things are looking good. TCL is usually a pretty decent region historically, and this is a team that has a good regular season record, performed well in the playoffs, has a ton of momentum. They've shown to be a strong team all summer split. I value that a ton, that consistency. It shows you're good in BO1s and in BO5s, which is something you need at international competition. I think Galatasaray could be a pretty decent team. At number 17 here, I have Beyond Gaming. Now, this was a tough team for me to place. They went 14-4 in the summer. They did pretty good. This is Liang, Husha, Moan, Doggo, and Kino. Then in the playoffs, they went 3-1 against MCX, which I think is like Matcha. Then they went 3-2 against PSG. They actually beat PSG in the playoffs, but then ended up losing 2-3 in the final. So another close series. Overall, they were 5-5 with PSG Talon. So they are right there with them, but PSG was better in the regular season. PSG ends up beating them in the finals. I think Beyond Gaming is solid. Maybe I should have them a little bit higher, but I think there's some pretty good teams up here. I think 17 for Beyond Gaming is, pretty solid. We'll see how they do internationally. We know Doggo can perform, but let's see how the rest of his team does. At number 16, I have Detonation FOCUSME. This was another team that really impressed some people at MSI. This is obviously the team out of the LJL. They went 11-3 in summer. Evie, Steel, Aria, Utapon, and Gang. But they did lose in the first round of their playoffs 2-3, but then came back to the 3-0 and then got their revenge against RJ 3-0 in the finals. So hopefully they have some momentum. Hopefully they're feeling good headed into Worlds, but still, losing in that first round of the playoffs, I know it was to RJ. I know it was like a 1-2 game, so it's not actually like the first round of the playoffs. But, losing that first best of 5, that's not, that's going to leave a little bit of doubt in my mind for them. I'm not sure exactly how I'm feeling about them. But I know they are definitely a team that is talented enough to steal games off major region teams at this tournament. And you don't really want to get them in your groups if you are in the play-in. So watch out for Detonation FOCUSME. At 15, we have Crab9. They went 15-12 in the summer in the LCS. So, again, LCS seen as a weaker region, going 15-12 in the regular season, not exactly that great. Fudge, Blabber, I think I spelled Blabber wrong, Perks, Sven, and Vulcan. Lost to Team Liquid 1-3 in the first round, but then rattled off some nice wins, 3-0 against GG, 3-0 against EG, 3-2 against TSM, before losing 1-3 to the eventual champions in 100 Thieves. Cloud9, we saw them have a good regular season in the spring. We saw them win the championship, but then go to MSI and perform a lot worse than they looked like in NA. And now they look a lot worse in the summer. So if they're going to get this international downgrade again, I don't know. It's going to be tough. Blabber's going to really need to turn things around, which I don't expect. Perks is going to need to step up huge. Fudge has been good. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have high expectations for Cloud9. I just hope they get out of play-ins. At number 14 here, we have HANWHA Life. Now, this team, really, really weird year for them. 7-11 record in the summer. I think might be the worst record of any team at the World Championships in the regular season. I don't know why I didn't change the roster for HANWHA Life. But yes, this is obviously FPX. I didn't change them. But this team has been backpacked all year by Chovy in the mid lane. Obviously so many people talking about him. But we actually don't even have any playoff matches to go off of for HANWHA Life because they didn't even make the playoffs. I think they finished 7th in the LCK, and I think the top 6 make the playoffs. They either finished 7th or 8th, but then obviously they ended up qualifying through the regional qualifier. So they're a talented team. It's just going to depend how much that Chovy can carry them. Is Chovy enough to have success at Worlds? I don't know. HANWHA Life against Cloud9, who's better? It's going to be interesting. Is a middle-of-the-pack team from Korea better than a struggling team in the LCS, better than, like Rogue or something like that? I don't know. There's some people that are not even picking HANWHA Life to get out of play-ins, which it'll be interesting to see. Sorry I didn't have their lineup in there. At number 13, we have CHOGUE. They went 13-5 in the summer. In the summer and spring, performed very, very well in the regular season, performed very, very well in BO1s. This is Oda Wamna, Inspired, Larson, Hansama, and Trimby. But in the playoffs, things did not go good for Rogue. 3-2 against Misfits, 0-3 against Mad, 0-3 against FNATIC. That is not how you want to be headed into Worlds. You don't want to be on a 6-game losing streak headed in. You don't want to be a team that is known for choking, known for not performing when the pressure's on, not performing in the big games, because there's going to be a ton of pressure on them in the play-ins. We remember last year, The European team in the play-ins did not make it out of play-ins. You know people are going to be saying that same thing about Rogue. I think they're a talented team. That's why I have them above Cloud9. That's why I have them above HANWHA Life. But they need to play like it, and I don't know if they're going to. I have them at 13. At number 12, we have Team Liquid. This team, I think, I've really been saying all year that I think this is the most talented team in the LCS. They've had a ton of issues, obviously, with Alphari going in and out, Santorin going in and out. But they went 15-12 in summer, same record as Cloud9. But I think they never had their full roster, so that's why I rate that a little bit higher than Cloud9. Alphari, Santorin, Jensen, Tactical, and Core JJ, they went 3-1 against C9, 3-1 against TSM, 3-2 against 100 Thieves, and then end up losing 3-0 to 100 Thieves in the finals and really not looking good. If this team would have dominated 100 Thieves in the finals, I would have been really, really high on them coming into Worlds. But now they're leaving some doubt in my mind. I got them at number 12. At 11, I have to go with 100 Thieves. This team had the best record in the regular season at 18-9. Someday, Closer, Faker, Dage, FBI, and Huhi. Playoffs was interesting for them. 3-2 against EG, 2-3 against TL. 3-1 against C9, 3-0 against TL. So two really, really good series to come into Worlds strong. I just don't know how this team's going to perform. I think they're the best team in North America right now. Obviously, they clearly showed that in the regular season and in the playoffs. I think FBI is a beast. I think Abadage can be good internationally. This team, it's really going to depend on how much Closer shows up. If Closer can look at Worlds how he looked in North America, this team can finish higher than 11th. If he doesn't, this team could definitely finish lower than 11th. This team is very, very volatile. We'll see how it goes. Now into the top 10. This is where things start to get spicy. At number 10, I have PSG Talon, the only team to go 18-0 during the regular season. Hanabi, River, Maple, Unified, and Kaiwing. But playoffs was a little bit bumpy for them. A 3-0 against J-Team, lost 2-3 to Beyond Gaming. Even though they went undefeated in the regular season, they started dropping some games in the playoffs. 3-0 against J-Team again, and then they finally get their revenge against Beyond Gaming 3-2. But overall, 5-5 against Beyond Gaming, so we'll have to see. But I do think PSG Talon got a ton of experience from MSI. I think now they're actually going to have Unified here, so if Unified is better than Doggo, if he's a better fit for this team, if they have more synergy, this team should do better this time around. And if they do better at Worlds than they did at MSI, that's going to be scary. I think PSG Talon's definitely a team to watch out for. At number 9, we have Gen G, Generation Gaming, 12-6 in the summer. Rascal, Clid, BDD, Ruler, and Life. Ruler is one of my favorite AD carries in the world to watch. I think this guy is so sick. I think this guy is so insane. But playoffs didn't go too well for them. They lost 1-3 to T1. That's all we got to see. Gen G is definitely a good team, but it just kind of depends. Once you start getting to the top, do you think, how good do you think Europe is compared to Korea? How good do you think China is compared to Korea? That's going to depend how you rate some of these teams. I think Gen G is going to be a tough team. I think they're going to be scary, but if they get into a tough group, I could see them, maybe not even making it out of the group stage. At number 8, we have Royal Never Give Up, 10-6 in the summer. Xiaohu, Wei, Cryan, Gala, and Ming. These are your MSI champions. They won the last international tournament, but they had some MSI hangover. They had a rough split. This is not the team that came into MSI looking dominant, looking like the best team in the world. And obviously in the playoffs, they lost 1-3 to LNG and kind of got bumped out. But I do expect this team to hopefully perform better internationally. Xiaohu was a beast at MSI. I think he'll be good again. Gala and Ming, we know, can be good. I know a lot of people are going to have question marks about Cryan, especially with how stacked this mid lane pool looks at this tournament. I think that's going to be the downfall of RNG. But I do think overall LPL is head and shoulders the best region in the world. So I think just because RNG struggled in the LPL doesn't mean they're necessarily going to look super, super bad, at Worlds or anything like that. At number 7, we have FNATIC. They had a, so-so regular season, finishing 11-7. Adam, Whippo, Niski, Upset, and Hillisang. But they rattled off a ton of wins in the playoffs. 3-2 against Vitality, 3-2 against Misfits, 3-2 against G2, 3-0 Rogue, which is a big one. And then they took a game off Mad, 1-3 against Mad Lions. But this team has some guys that we know perform internationally. Blippo historically has been, he's had some good performances internationally. Hillisang has been a beast at international tournaments. I'm excited to see Upset. I want to see how Niski does against all of these world-class mid laners. And then obviously the young guy Adam getting that experience in the top lane. I think FNATIC is a crazy, crazy team who plays fast, who plays fun, who plays exciting. And I think they're going to be able to win some games. I think especially towards the end of the year, they proved they're one of the best teams in Europe. That 3-0 Rogue was very, very... that was a big statement. And I really think that overall, the LEC is a good league. I think they're right there with Korea. So the second best team in Europe has to be pretty high up on the list for me. At number 6, I have LNG. They also went 10-6 in summer. We have Ale, Tarzan, Icon, Light, and Luandi. And they had an interesting playoff run. 3-2 against Suning, 3-1 against Top, 3-1 against RNG. Did lose 0-3 to FPX and 1-3 to EDG, but I do think that FPX and EDG are two of the best teams in the world. So no shame there. This team is very, very solid. I think they are interesting. I think they're going to be scary. But I just think, they're a little bit below that top tier of teams in the world. They weren't very competitive with FPX or EDG. But again, I think the LPL is very, very strong. So no shame there. At number 5, we're into the top 5 now. We have T1, 11-7 in summer. Oh no, leaked. We have 11-7 in summer. Kana, Wunner, Faker, Gumayusi, and Teddy both going to be playing, and Carria as the support. 3-0 against Sandbox, 3-1 against Genji, and 3-1. This was 1-3 against DAMWON Kia. So, they are clearly the second best team in Korea. They looked very good against Genji, but they, got kind of stomped by DAMWON as well. This is going to be exciting. Seeing Faker back at Worlds, is T1 going to step up at Worlds and perform better than they did domestically? Are they going to perform worse, or are they going to stay, about where they're at? If they stay about where they're at, I think they're the 5th best team in the world right now. And yeah, this is where I have them. I think they are going to be favored to get out of any group that they get put in. I think they're going to have an interesting shot at making it to the semifinals. It's going to depend on their draw, but I'm definitely just excited to see Faker back at Worlds like everyone else is. At number 4, it already got leaked, but I have Mad Lions. 12-6 in the summer. Arma, Elyoya, Humanoid, Karzi, and Kaiser. Playoffs was very, very good for them. 3-1 against G2, 3-0 against Rogue, 3-1 against FNATIC. They are coming in perfect form. They fit this meta so well. They play fast, crazy, aggressive. Maybe one of the best team fighting teams in the world. Arma is actually in good form right now. Karzi is in good form right now. And when those two guys are in good form, this team can be scary, because I really think Elyoya, Humanoid, and Kaiser are class. I think they are, capable of playing well internationally. And if Arma and Karzi can hang with them and can play at that same level, this team's going to be scary. Again, the LEC has been a good region the last couple of years. G2 has had some performances, and now Mad Lions is the best team in this region. So I have to project them to have a good performance as well. I see them as the 4th best team right now. I could absolutely see them making it to the semifinals. They finished 4th at MS, or they finished like 3rd, 4th at MSI. I think they're going to be right back there now, but maybe they learn from MSI. Maybe they're better now. They definitely look informed. The one thing that scares me about this team is that they haven't been that amazing in best of ones in the spring or the summer. So they're going to have to figure out best of ones to get out of groups. Once they get out of groups, best of fives really seem to be their comfort zone. At number 3, I have DAMWON Kia. This top 3 was really, really hard for me to decide between. I think these top 3 teams are all close. But DAMWON went 12-6 in summer. Con, Canyon, Showmaker, Ghost, and Barrel. These are the defending world champions. 3-0 against NS, and then a 3-1 against T1 in the finals, obviously. So they're for sure the best team in Korea. But again, how good do you think Korea is? How good do you think the best team in Korea is? This team almost won MSI, but they're really not the same DAMWON as last year. They're just not as scary, and in the summer, they didn't even look as good. I don't know. DAMWON's going to be a good team. It's going to be an interesting matchup with them. It'll be interesting to see how they do, but it seems like Showmaker, one of the best players in the world yet again. He's going to carry this team, but there's definitely some question marks about Ghost. How's he going to perform? How's he going to do? Khan, can they play through him? We'll see. DAMWON's going to be a fun team to watch. At number 2, I have EDG. These are the LPL champions, but they went 12-4 in summer. Flandre, GG, Scout, Viper, and Mako. Viper is an absolute beast. He's going to be so much fun to watch. But this team actually lost 2-3 to WE in the playoffs, but then they went on a nice little streak. 3-1 LNG, 3-0 WE, and 3-1 FPX to get that title. They're very, very good. If you said they're the best team in the world right now, I would not argue with you too much, but I think even though they didn't win in the finals, I have FPX at number 1. This team finished with the best record in the regular season, 13-3 in the summer. Nugri, Tian, Doinb, LWX, and Crisp, I can't talk. They went 3-0 against LNG, 3-0 WE, and then yes, they did lose 1-3 against EDG, but I think FPX can get some revenge on them, and I think everyone else in the world at Worlds. FPX are my pick to take down the world championship this year. I think Doinb is going to get another title. I'm rooting for them. I hope he does. He's so fun to watch. This is the LPL MVP, but this team is stacked all over the place. Even though they lost to EDG in the finals, again, I think EDG is a very, very good team. I don't think that's a knock on FPX at all. We'll have to see how this goes. But that is pretty much it for this video today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long one, but hopefully it was worth tuning into. This was my breakdown and rankings, a little overview of every single team, so you know what's going on with all the teams heading into Worlds. Drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. This was a ton of effort to throw together, so all your support and everything would be greatly appreciated. Leave a comment down below letting me know who you think is going to win Worlds, what your rankings look like. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully get you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.